Alrighty, guys, we're back for Big Red Artifacts, and this is an Aetherdrift Standard brew, and I'm Red Cat. Let's briefly go over the deck, then hop right into some ranked, but first things first, this was a patron suggestion. So thank you so much for the suggestion. It's gonna be a fun one. We got some chunky top-end artifacts like Portal to Phyrexia making the cut as a 2 of, a couple Cityscape Levelers, as well as a couple Meteor Golems too. Not actually going to take the time to go over these. They've been around long enough, I'd say. We got a couple Mightstone and Weakstones to help us ramp into those top-end artifacts. And how about a couple Daretti Rocketeer Engineer? Cool. It's a 5 mana. Its power is equal to the greatest mana value among artifacts you control. And then it has 5 toughness. Now, when Daretti enters or attacks, choose target artifact card in your graveyard. You may sacrifice an artifact. If you do, return the chosen card to the battlefield. So yeah, we're not going to mind at all discarding these top-end artifacts, especially even like Cityscape Leveler has the Unearth ability for 8 anyways, right? So eventually you can bring that back. But if you end up discarding a Portal to Phyrexia, maybe at some point Daretti can go ahead and bring it back with that bottom ability, right? We have a whole bunch of artifacts that we really just wouldn't mind sacrificing to bring back that top end. And even if it's not the top end, even if you're bringing back a Mightstone, Weakstone and getting that ETB, still sounds pretty good, doesn't it? Now we do have other new cards packed in. We have Chandra Spark Hunter as a 3 of in here. It's a 4 mana 4 loyalty legendary planeswalker. At the beginning of combat on your turn, choose up to 1 target vehicle you control. Until end of turn, it becomes an artifact creature and gains haste. Funny enough, we're not really doing the vehicle thing in here at all, except for the 0 ability, which create a 3/2 colorless vehicle artifact token with crew for 1. So outside of that, we're not really doing the vehicle thing. What Chandra's actually in here for is the top ability and the bottom ability. So the +2 here, you may sacrifice an artifact or discard a card. If you do, draw a card. Okay, awesome. And then the -7, which I actually don't think is going to be unheard of to get to. You get an emblem with, whenever an artifact you control enters, this emblem deals 3 damage to any target. Actually looks pretty solid, right? So first turn it's out there, go +2, next turn +2, then the turn after that -7. Just 3 turns of survival, Chandra. You can get that done, right? So we have some board wipes packed in with 3 Brotherhood's End. Opt in for Brotherhood's End this time. We do see Synthesizer pop up more and more, and actually just more artifacts in general since Aetherdrift, right? So I think Brotherhood's End will be excellent. Got some removal with 3 Torch the Tower. The bargain should be easy peasy when we have cards like Scrapwork Mutt to go ahead and sacrifice, right? The Unearth ability will come in handy, but also the discard ability, of course, will come in handy. Now, with all the extra discarding with Chandra and Scrapwork Mutt and other cards that I'll go over in a second, Monument of Endurance ought to come in handy. The 3 of in here, it's a 3 mana artifact. When you discard a card, choose one that hasn't been chosen yet. Draw a card, create a treasure token, or each opponent loses 3 life. Cool stuff, man. That'll pair nicely with Artist Talent. Of course, it's a 2 mana enchantment class. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, you may discard a card. If you do, draw a card. Level 2 and level 3 ought to come in handy as well, but I'm not going to take the time to read those right now. We have 3 Legion Extruder too, so more early game removal since it deals 2 damage to any target. But then also the bottom ability should come in handy too. For 2 mana, you can tap it, sacrifice another artifact, create a 3/3 colorless golem artifact creature token. Cool stuff. Another artifact that we really wouldn't mind sacrificing. All 4 Piggy Banks making the cut. It's a 2 mana 3/2, and when it dies, you create a treasure token. So a little bit of early ramp there. And yeah, sacrificing it, like trading it out to an extruder, it's actually pretty cool. You're trading out your 3/2 for a 3/3, but then you're also getting a treasure token anyway. So, okay, guys, is that everything? No. Urabrask Forge, make the cut as a 1 of. Awesome. And the mana base is kind of important to go over too. A couple Mirrex generating more artifacts potentially. Got a couple Fountainport in here too. We have a Demolition Field, a Blast Zone, 16 mountains, and a couple Hidden Volcanoes as well. It should be pretty cool if you end up flooding out or just getting late enough into the game to actually pop this Discover 4 and hit a card like Chandra out of your build. Sounds neat. Honorable mentions, guys. In the original suggested deck list, Gleaming Barrier made the cut, as well as the Hedron Archive. Kind of excellent artifact ramp, and I traded it out for the Chandra. Hopefully, it's a worthwhile trade out, huh? Also in the original suggested deck list, Autonomous Furnace was in the build instead of Hidden Volcano, but since I opted for the Chandra, I thought Hidden Volcano might be a little bit neater, but definitely a land to keep your eye on. Same concept with Mycosynth Gardens. This could have been pretty cool in here. Since we have Chandra Spark Hunter, like other vehicles could be cool. I thought Gastel Roller would be a neat one for this one since it has that bottom ability where you can discard a card and stuff. Since Monument's also in here, kind of fits the theme. Something to keep your eye on, I suppose. And also Brass's Tunnel Grinder almost made the cut too. All right, guys. I do my dandiest to save the more in-depth discussion for the end of the video, so look forward to that. In the meantime, let's go ahead, take this into some ranked, see how we do. Right into that first game. What am I expecting from the build? I think it's going to be pretty good, man. We'll see how we can do today. All right. I love this first hand. This is a good one, dude. As long as we can find double red when it comes time, right? It should be easy peasy. We have the option for Piggy Bank and Scrapwork Mutt. I'll torch that tower. That's totally fine. Totally fine target early game here. Glass zone. Uh-oh. I think right into the Piggy Bank then. Scrapwork Mutt can of course trade out. Maybe I should have got Blast Zone down and traded out Demolition Field. If that's what we end up doing here. Okay, well, Scrapwork Mutt is a good discard to Hopeless Nightmare. If this is a Torch the Tower, the Piggy Bank won't give us a treasure, which would be really bad. Oh dear. Well, we might have to unearth Scrapwork Mutt if we miss that second red source. Outside of that, we might be able to just wait a couple turns until Chandra comes down. Okay, there's the other red source. Brotherhood's End not doing anything anyways. Scrapwork Mutt still could come back, trade out Blast Zone, get 2 through. But if we trade out Blast Zone, we might miss our 4th for the Chandra. Are we just gonna awkwardly pass back and do nothing? How dare that torch the tower, huh? It's too bad we didn't actually get the treasure token, because that could have been a turn 3 Chandra. Okay, fear of missing out. Okay. When do we use the Demolition Field, guys? What do we want to thin the deck this turn, perhaps? Hit a Verge? Is that worthwhile? They get a land into the grave, so... I mean, they already have Delirium anyways. Yeah, I wouldn't mind thinning the deck. I don't really know when to use Demolition Field when the opponent doesn't have, an important Restless land or something. But since we have mana open... I don't mind this. Take action for sure. Grab the mountain. Another mountain. Okay. So unfortunately, Chandra does not have any protection on this board, but Brotherhood's End, we should definitely wait on that, right? Could still go Scrapwork Mutt, trade out the mountain that we just drew. Next turn it would be better, so we could sacrifice it to the Chandra ability. So if Chandra survives the turn, let's get Spark Hunter down. We'll go +2, because it'll survive probably, right? Discard a card. Get rid of the mountain. It's another mountain. That's probably fine, right? Sheoldred. Oh, buddy. All right, yep. They're going to bring Chandra down to 2 here as they untap Fear of Missing Out and swing at it again. It's good value to have this Planeswalker on the board. I'll tell you what, coming down, going +2, 4 mana for 6 loyalty is pretty decent, isn't it? Right, we draw. Monument of Endurance is not terrible. Down to 16. So we can play our 5th. Brotherhood's End doesn't pick up the Sheoldred and would hit our Chandra as well. So getting Monument of Endurance down first. I suppose, right? and then going plus on the Chandra. Oh, do we get rid of the mountain or the Brotherhood's End? If we get rid of Brotherhood's End, even if we don't see land off the top, we could go mountain Scrapwork Mutt and get more off the monument. Speaking of more off the monument, I suppose we're going to go... Oh, I should have started with Scrapwork Mutt, but I wanted the monument down. Crap. I see the flaw with my turn, as I should have sacrificed the Scrapwork Mutt. That's okay, though, because the discard will get more things on the monument, which means treasure token, too, right? So card draw first. Ow, Sheoldred, why? Ow. Oh, crap, dude. Sheoldred's going to be such a punish for this one, right? Alright, come on back. Scrapwork Mutt. We're in danger either way, guys. We should definitely just trade things out to see what we see. Actually, I'm going to keep the Hidden Volcano. Yeah, why not? Why not? Alright, let's go with treasure token, I guess. Even though we just drew more mana. Ooh, that's not great, is it? What are we going to do about this, guys? I don't know what we're going to do about this. Chandra's about to die. Yeah, if we didn't discard, we would have gotten one less thing on the monument, which I guess didn't actually matter too much. They untap Sheoldred and they'll get a swing at our face too. So some Rakdos Delirium looking super scary over there. And the Sheoldred punish against a deck that knows how to trade out really well. They dropped an oops. Did they accidentally pass it back or something? More mana. Guys, we only got 24 in here. I'll tell you what, Hidden Volcano earlier on one of the turns where we weren't doing anything actually would have been pretty decent because it would have been untapped and ready to go here. Well, either way, Fountainport can come down, and I guess that's that. I guess that's it. We can create a fishy, but all the opponent has to do is pass it back anyways, and the fishy can only block one Sheoldred swing. There was probably a way to survive a bit longer here, right? So we'll pay one, we'll get a fishy, down to one. We'll block the Sheoldred once. We'll completely play it out here for sure. And the fear gets through anyways, but they would have had an extra Sheoldred swing as well. Sheoldred's definitely going to be a problem for this deck list in general, right? We don't have too many ways to actually successfully hit 5 toughness. But then also, with all the trading out, oh yeah, dude, Sheoldred's going to be an absolute menace. Something to think about for sure. Something to think about for the final thoughts as we go through the different types of removal that we have in here. I think usually then we'll have to double down on Sheoldred. It would look something like Brotherhood's End, clear up the rest of their board too, and then also go Torch the Tower onto the Sheoldred. Or top end, of course, right? Again, might struggle with the double red for Brotherhood's End, but we should be okay. We go first, which is great news. I'm going to keep this. Yeah, turn 2, Artist Talent. Fabled Passage. Torch the Tower has no targets for the turn. That's okay. A Forest. Another Brotherhood's End. Alright, I suppose it'll be Demolition Field, as worst comes to worst, as long as we have something to hit over there, a non-basic land, we'll be able to get the red source on the field, right? So let's get the Artist Talent down. It is established, and I wonder if we just want to go up to level 2 next turn, depending on what they do here. Yep, those are just basics for now. I suppose we could also put a counter on Blast Zone, but I think it should be fine enough to go level 2 Artist Talent. Selesnya Colors means Get Lost exists, which should be concerning, but what else are we going to realistically do here? Herd Migration. Oh, Selesnya Colors with Herd Migration is really bad news. We'll see what we're actually up against here, but I sense full power Atraxa domain incoming. At that point, again, Brotherhood's End not doing too much against that style of domain. Get some good ramp here. We do find the second red source, but guys, no targets. Everything's happening in a very awkward order, I would say. You get Artist Talent to level 3, but they definitely know how to pick up non-land permanents, period. First couple games stuck between a rock and a hard place for sure. A Demolition Field is available, but I wouldn't mind seeing more mana off the top. Either way, nothing else to do for the turn unless we're considering the Blast Zone, which I'm not. So we're just going to go ahead and level up Artist Talent and have Torch the Tower available. I hope that's optimal. Maybe these starting hands, maybe I should have opted to actually drop the mulligan. I know one thing though, our Torch the Tower's hitting harder now that we're at level 3. So it's any source, if a source you control, deal non-combat damage to an opponent or permanent an opponent controls, deals that much damage plus 2 instead, which is not half bad. Ooh, oh, we do not see Urza's Silex very often. Daretti, hi. Guys, I'm going to drop Brotherhood's End to pop the Silex. Player chooses 6 lands they control, destroy all other permanents. Unless they end up ramping really fast. I mean, what are the odds that they're going to use this when they have Overlord going to flip soon enough anyways? Yeah, Daretti's not bad, but we need some of our filtration, which I think we might do right now. I'm sorry, opponent. I'm thinking, buddy. Using a timer and everything, huh? Wow. We go Brotherhood's End, use our 2 red sources, destroy the Silex, and trade out the other Brotherhood's End, because I don't know if it's going to do too much here. However, getting the portal into the grave could mean Daretti has a chance to bring it back. The problem is we have no other artifacts on the board right now. Oh, they actually dropped the negate, which is fine, as long as we get the trade out here. You know what? It should be portal anyways, because we're very far from 8 mana, and I don't think Artist Talent is going to stick around on the board very long either. So it'll probably be 9 mana, and we're very far from 9 mana, so... get the portal to the grave. Piggy Bank, let's go. We can't play it though, because we just spent our double red. Aw, jeez, man. Okay. Yeah, it's lining up a little bit awkwardly. I can only imagine as the evening goes on, it'll line up a little bit better for us, but we'll see. That's something else to consider in the final thoughts, right? Maybe we definitely need more red sources in the mana base type of thing. But also, if the opponents gave us more early targets too, like in that scenario, we wouldn't have chose Brotherhood's End if we had something to pick up with Torch the Tower. And then we still would have had a mountain open to get the Piggy Bank down. So, yeah, all that's very important. And what Piggy Bank does, of course, is it's an artifact on the board that we wouldn't mind sacrificing to Daretti. And so, yeah, it's lining up awkwardly, but I kind of feel like it doesn't have to be that way, right? Like it's not necessarily how the deck's put together type of thing. Oh crap, what are they gonna choose, dude? Are they gonna exile our grave? No, my portal to Phyrexia. No, opponent, how could you? Well, we have some extra turns of setup anyways, so. I can't believe Artist Talent's still sticking around. Hey, Mightstone, Weakstone, that's pretty good. Pop the Flanker. Save Mightstone, Weakstone for Overlord, or draw 2 cards, and also trade Meteor Golem into the grave. Meteor Golem, we're actually, if we don't trade Meteor Golem, Mightstone, Weakstone can help us ramp, but we can't rely on it in our hand. It's Mightstone, Weakstone, right? But I'm just going to draw 2, and then we're going to filter Brotherhood's End probably. I hope that's okay, guys. I hope that's okay. It's one of those things where now we're 1 mana away. See, there's a mountain for next turn. One mana away from just casting the Meteor Golem, which should actually be really good. Urabrask Forge is actually... Establishing that now wouldn't be terrible, right? I'm gonna do it. Let's get one of the Meteor Golems into the grave for the Daretti when it comes time. The second Daretti. Okay. Okay. Get that swing. Yeah, establishing Urabrask Forge gives even more threats on the board that the opponent wouldn't mind picking up with their removal. Of course, the removal I'm speaking of is the Leyline. It picks up non-land permanents. There's definitely 4 of them over there, so they're probably saving it for something. Here comes Overlord of the Hauntwoods, which is why it was important to consider Mightstone Weakstone as removal for Overlord. However, with Meteor Golem upcoming anyways, that's probably what will end up popping. They're thinking about the Sylex. We might take the Sylex out too, guys. It might be... Activate only as a sorcery, yeah. So Mirrex is not terrible. I think I'm going to save the Meteor Golem in hand. Maybe Piggy Bank sacrifice with the Daretti, but it could be more of 1 mana. 1 mana to torch the tower on the flanker. They get to keep the Overlord around if we pop the Sylex. The Sylex pop would be pretty brutal, man. All other permanence is crazy when we have this established. I apologize, I'm thinking again, buddy. Really tough decisions. Piggy Bank to the grave, keep the Meteor Golem as backup. I like it. We'll use the Mirrex here, and trying to keep as many red sources on the board as possible. Piggy Bank. So I'm gonna take out the Sylex. Guys, mistakes were made. I needed to use the Mightstone Weakstone. Mistakes were made, guys. No. I'm gonna use Demolition Field to pop the everywhere. I can't believe I did that. Oh no. We're playing artifacts, so you have to use... Wait a minute. I didn't have enough mana anyway. Wait. What was I thinking? Yeah, no, I did. I did have enough mana for Piggy Bank Daretti. With Demolition Field, I had to tap Mightstone Weakstone. Yeah, I can't believe I did that. Crap. Well, we have a chump blocker for the Overlord. This is awkward, dude. This is very awkward now. I'm going to do Torch the Tower now, guys, too, because we'll take care of Flanker. The Sylex is going to be such a problem. All right, well, this could be a pretty good block for us, but the Sylex, dude, the Sylex. Every card that we take out of theirs makes the Sylex so much better. Yeah, okay, well, I messed up. We're gonna do it. Let's do it, guys. Let's do it. Oh, man. I'm gonna keep both of these now. Scrapwork Mutt is probably worth sending to the bottom as we're looking for more top end this late into the game. Yeah, important things to note there from that turn. Daretti is not an artifact. Be very careful with your mana, guys. I can't believe I did that. Other important things to note for that turn, actually very interesting things, was the order that, since I decided to play a lot out anyways, use all our extra mana and trade out with the talent, it's actually worthwhile thinning the deck list with the Demolition Field. Also by getting rid of everywhere on the board and them actually blocking with the Overlord. I mean, it doesn't really affect their domain too much, but kind of sort of. Now they don't have a mountain, right? So that's kind of cool. Like, we kind of salvaged the turn a little bit, but either way, I was pretty bad not using my mana effectively. Because Meteor Golem onto the Sylex would have been so much better. we're going to get to keep our 6 mana. And the important things here is, well, mana off the top would be Meteor Golem, but now they won't have a permanent to pop with it. Any artifact off the top might be a Mirrex turn, guys. Yeah, it might be a Mirrex turn. So Silex is going to be a 3-for-1, unless we want to count the treasure too. They can also pay the extra 2 if they want. See if they have that Planeswalker. They do not end up paying for it. Destroy all other permanents. That's weird. That was... Okay, there it is. That was weird how the animation played first. Okay, I don't mind Scrapwork Mutt at all. I guess we'll trade Meteor Golem into the grave. Again, we could find mana. Play it. Oh, wow. Yeah, not half bad, huh? We could sacrifice the Daretti. Bring back Mightstone and Weakstone. That's pretty good, dude. That was a really good draw. Right, Meteor Golem with no targets. It's Mightstone. We gotta re-establish our hand. Dude, even with my terrible play, the deck is totally doing the thing right now, huh? More mana, though. It's good that we only have 24 in here. Yeah, with all the trading out, I think 25 probably would have been too much. Fable Passage. Let's see if they have that mountain packed in. An emergency mountain. They do. They do have the emergency mountain. So now they do have full domain again, with 7 on the board. Herd migration is 7. That would be pretty bad. We do have Brotherhood's End packed in. As a 3 of. One of them's gone. No, 2 of them's gone. Daretti being a 5/5. Definitely unearth the Scrapwork Mutt next turn. Without removal for Daretti, the opponent would be in a sticky situation, but I'd be very surprised if they're missing a ley line. Split up, actually. Wow. Ooh, Cityscape Leveler. I like seeing the top end like this, guys. Very nice. I will get the Fountainport down for sure. More utility land. And we have enough for everything. So we start with Scrapwork Mutt, trade out the mountain, see if there's something different that we want to do. Right? Monument. Okay, I think we still established the Leveler, even though there's probably a high chance of it getting exiled. It doesn't have haste, so we start with the swing. And then Leveler, come on down, buddy. You know what? I will convert that Scrapwork Mutt into a Power Stone token. Why not at that point, right? Not something I was really thinking about, but since the opponent has nothing to clean up. Outside of that, establishing the monument and keeping like a Fountainport open or the Mirrex open also could have been pretty good. And then waiting until we had something to remove with the Leveler. It depends on... I mean, they went split up instead of exile on the Daretti, so... Oh, there's the exile, though. So, we have to anticipate leyline number 2 for sure, no matter what. Oh, wow. Wow. The game was like, hey, buddy, I saw you mess up earlier. Here, have some of this. For real, though, wow. And at that point, we do it. Right? Hopefully it lands. Pop the ley line. Have a Power Stone opponent. Couple levelers on the board. Might as well establish everything, guys. Might as well establish everything. Negate number 2. Yeah, Cityscape Leveler obviously getting around negate because it's a creature, but Monument gets picked up by negate number 2. Oh, Sunfall, not the exile opponent, anything but the exile. Oh, crap, dude. They spend their mana. I will say this. I have no idea who's on the run. Guys, we're going to keep the mountain in hand to discard because we have filtration in here. We have Fountainport, Mirrex. We could go Mirrex, Fountainport draw. We could go Fountainport draw on the Power Stone token. We could go treasure token, because boy, mana is something we need right now, right? No, let's start with Fountainport Power Stone token. Yeah, using the Mightstone. Oh dear, that's actually really bad, isn't it? I guess it's a Mirrex turn, and should I keep both of these? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 10 mana total, unless Mightstone Weakstone gets picked up. I'm going to keep both of them. I hope that's okay. I hope that's fine. No, I'll play one. I'll play one. Just keeping one back as something to filter's fine. Having extra emergency mana, I guess you never know when it will come in handy. Especially if we find more card draw and stuff too. Up the beanstalk. Thank goodness they didn't have that earlier, huh? What a game, guys. What a match. It's actually been a pretty fun one to think through. Here, we'll take the 2. And... oh, passing it back. I'll put, I guess, a counter on the blast zone at long last, right? X is 1. We could go blast zone to pop up the beanstalk, which honestly wouldn't be a bad hit. It really wouldn't be. Scrapwork Mutt, let's go, guys. All right, we'll start with that. Do this before combat because I guess you never know if it'll end up affecting combat. However, we already lost our 1 Urabrask forage and stuff, so... oh no, it's another mountain, guys. Wow. That is a problem for sure. Blast Zone Scrapwork Mutt? Picks up the beanstalk. All right. All right, let's do it. Let's do it. This is so funny, dude. Goodbye up the beanstalk. No card draw for you, opponent. And we'll still have 2 open for Fountainport to pop the Might for more card draw too. Or maybe we'll see one of our 3 drops. Dude, deck list totally showcasing itself. Holy cow, it's another mountain though. My goodness. We'll keep Fountainport open. It doesn't say anything about sorcery speed, so I'll try to be patient about it. Even though I wouldn't mind drawing this turn. We'll be tapped out this time, so... all right. How much mana have we seen so far, guys? Let's do some counting while the opponent's going. We have 8 land on the board. There's our 9th. Oh, herd migration is such a problem, dude. That's a big, big problem. They swing for 2. We should definitely draw. Get us 1 step closer to the Brotherhood's end, which would be so good. Oh, wow, just chilling on top, dude. Holy cow. And we actually have 5 land in the grave as well, guys. That's kind of crazy. Well, I'm going to keep the mountain to trade out eventually. No way we're not doing this, huh? Clean that board state up. Let's go ahead and get the Piggy Bank down as well. We'll have Mirrex open for the turn. That was our last Brotherhood's End, guys, so if they find another herd migration, we're in danger. But I think we're in danger either way. The double exile on the Cityscape Levelers with the well-placed Sunfall could have potentially been the nail in the coffin. Really could have been. That's one of our heavy-hitting top ends that's supposed to help us clean up the game, so... might be pretty difficult to get 15 damage through. Tranquil Frill back. Uh-oh. My Mightstone Weakstone. That's not good. Also, I wonder if they just go ahead and do all of this. Exile our grave, gain 4. Oh, they only have 1 more green source on the board, though. So probably exile grave and pop the Mightstone Weakstone. We wonder what they end up choosing, though. Looks like they're gaining 4 and exiling our grave. We get to keep Mightstone around. All right. I guess they decide we have so much mana anyways that yeah, the extra life gain could keep them in an extra turn since we're having trouble getting damage through and stuff. All right, we'll go Mirrex. Guys, it's more mana. That's not terrific. Look at how far we are in the deck list. There's only 25 cards remaining. Oh dear. See if they end up blocking, letting 3 through. If they block, we can go Fountainport draw. Again, the draw could affect combat, but I don't think it would, so we'll be a little patient about it. Yeah, not letting the poison through is probably important. So now we'll go Fountainport, sacrifice the token, and draw. It's going to be a Legion Extruder. It's actually pretty good, right? We'll go 2 damage to the opponent's face. And then we still have Mirrex open and the Extruder open as well. Which is pretty good, right? I think so. Guys, this might be the longest game of all time. But it's kind of showcasing the resilience of our deck list right now a little bit, because there were some brutal plays from the opponent. Well-placed counter spells, board wipes, Archangel of Wrath. Let's see what they end up hitting here, because if they try to hit Piggy Bank, then of course we'll sacrifice it. Looks like they're going all to face, which is really, really bad news. Up the beanstalk. Okay. Okay. I think we might want to accept the trade into the Frillback here, guys. How do you guys feel about that? I hope that's acceptable. Because we're at 9. They got Archangel that's swinging in the air every turn. Play some mana. They got 1. Wow, Hidden Volcano again earlier. This could have been pretty good, but yeah, we're seeing a little bit too much mana right now. Can definitely get the Hidden Volcano down successfully. Piggy Bank does not swing into Archangel at all. We can go Mirrex Fountainport. Or we could go... Look, there's a few options. There's a few options. I am going to go Mirrex Fountainport before we pass the turn back, because we're in danger, guys, like big time. We've kind of been in danger. It's a Piggy Bank. I don't mind an extra Piggy Bank, dude, but we need to do something about this Archangel. And we still have the Legion Extruder. And they've only seen 1 Leyline Binding so far, which is actually pretty shocking. They do go for the swing. They go back up to 20. I don't know how we're going to get that damage through. What do you guys think? Should we have just conceded earlier? Oh. Split up, huh? All right. Well, you don't want to activate Extruder beforehand because we're about to get 2 treasures that we can use for the Extruder ability. So we can get one of the 3s back. Another Mirrex. Guys, this is way too much mana. All right, we start with the Hidden Volcano. See what we see. Wow, Chandra, that's excellent, dude. That's really good. I don't know what the vehicle's going to do here, but... Oh, negate number 3. Oh, no. Oh, no, guys. That's really bad. Oh, no. Really good for the opponent, though. All right, let's get Mirrex down. Dude, how brutal. We're going to double down on Mirrex for the turn, I think. And then either way, get that swing through. And then pass it back. We kind of gave them a run for their money, huh? There's Aetherdrift. They get some card draw. I think we did great. I think we did awesome. Overall, right? There was that one awkward turn, but that awkward turn, my misplay, kind of worked in our favor in a weird way, or we kind of pulled it back a little bit by playing everything else out of our hand. So even if I didn't make that misplay earlier, I think we still would have been on the run. There's another ley line. They got 24 cards remaining in their deck list. I want to count how much mana we saw too to see if this was a flood, because I don't know if we can count it as a flood when we're 40 cards deep into our deck, right? Like that's a lot. That's a lot of cards, man. Yeah, getting around Atraxa at this point in the game too. I don't know, man. Also, they still have 3 mana open. We're going to play it out completely though. Always feel free to skip ahead to the next game. Got timestamps in the description, chapters at the bottom of the video, all that fun stuff, right? I can't believe we're 40 minutes in already, guys. This is a long game. So yeah, let me know in the comments. Should I just have conceded maybe after the Sunfall play? It's one of those things where realistically, I do believe that we could have pulled this back after the Sunfall. But the Sunfall probably was the nail in the coffin. I can't really decide. All right. Get Lost open, Leyline Binding open. While we're tapped out, I wonder if they do it, because if they want to target our creatures, they want to do it now before we have the Legion Extruder open. I still think double Mirrex makes a lot of sense here, especially since we could get some important removal out of their hand now and maybe find some more of our top-end creatures. Wait a minute. Wait a minute, guys. We don't have any more top-end creatures. Oh, no, it's more mana anyways. Oh, no, guys. All right, let's generate and draw. See as much off the possible as, or see as much off the top of the deck as possible. There we go. Oh, Hidden Volcano. I should have waited to play the land, because that's actually not terrible, is it? And we can generate another 1/1, and then we can actually sacrifice the 1/1, which we could do on the opponent's turn too, but they're going to win off the fly in the air regardless, so this is fine. We'll play it all out just for the fun of playing it all out, and then let the opponent get a very rewarding swing here after a very long game as well. Yep, they block the poison, as it makes more sense, as they're gaining the life back anyways, the 3/3's not being much of a threat. Actually, that being said, 3/3's not being much of a threat. Probably, hey, good game, opponent. It was an excellent game, wasn't it? Anyways, it would actually be better just to keep the mites on the board instead of trading them into 3/3s, since they were going to be gaining so much life anyways. You kind of like rely on the poison, especially with double Mirrex on the board. Huh. A lot to be said about that game, guys. I'm not even mad about the loss. It was a tough uphill battle. The deck list showcased itself beautifully. It did a lot of great things there. The question is, do we want 23 land? No, probably not, because there's going to be a lot of moments. If you go down to 23 or lower, there's going to be way too many games where you just want to find mana every single turn no matter what. Like, look at this one. What if we didn't have our third in hand? Then this would be a mulligan. However, Brotherhood's End, we're going first. Monument, if we're not using Brotherhood's End on 3, Monument curving into Chandra. I like this. No early removal's fine when we're going first, because we're probably not up against aggro then, right? Right, opponent? Opponent, don't do it. Opponent! Alright, we're in danger. That's funny. What's gonna happen to that Heartfire hero? A Manifold Mouse is gonna happen. Oh, Brotherhood's End, you're looking pretty spicy right about now. Good old classic 2-for-1. Oh, Legion Extruder isn't bad too. If Legion Extruder, if we drew our 4th mana, we could consider setting up with Monument, but letting them have their 3rd turn without any removal or anything, like, we'd be in so much danger. Actually, I bet we could die if we passed it back without doing something this turn. I bet we could actually die on their turn 3 easily. So Spear. Oh, Monstrous Rage. That gets it around the Extruder damage, unfortunately, guys. So we definitely need to find something. Oh, crap. Oh, crap. down to 6. There's our 4th. It's too bad 2 damage doesn't pick up the monster Swift Spear. I think we're dead next turn. We could Chandra filter. Maybe Chandra takes pressure off of our face if they don't have lethal in hand. Chandra filter makes sense. I think get Cityscape Leveler into the grave is pretty decent. See, guys, oh, discard a card. See, this could have been a mulligan. I could have tried to find some more early removal and stuff, but we went first. I was feeling pretty confident, and the Brotherhood's end did feel all right. Like, it felt like an all right hand to go ahead and keep. Good game, opponent. Crap, that can't be the last one, guys. We can't just, like... That was barely a game. We gotta keep going. We're 45 minutes in, guys. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you actually drop it a like. If you enjoyed the channel, then consider subscribing as well. All that's very, very important for the channel's sustainability, right? So, thank you, guys. Yeah, we're getting late into the video, so I'm definitely pushing it overtime here. And it's also my fault for keeping such a long game going for so long, too. Probably should have conceded after the Sunfall to try to get more matches in, but... See, torch the tower. That's something you like to see, especially when the opponent goes first. But got a turn 2, and then late game stuff. Lots to draw into, I suppose. I'm keeping this. I think it's a good one. I don't even know. Depending on the colors that the opponents play, we might go Hidden Volcano here turn 1. Or I should say, if we don't have a target for the Torch the Tower, like just establishing Hidden Volcano turn 1 should be fine. That's pretty cool card sleeve, opponent. I haven't seen that one before. What's that from? All right. We'll go ahead and pause the recording until the opponent shows up. Oh, the opponent has arrived. Huzzah, duress. I think Artist Talent is probably out of the equation. They don't want to send the portal because Daretti's in hand too. That's a pretty good tempo play. All right, Hidden Volcano. Against Dimir, definitely. With duress, we don't know what version of Dimir we're up against yet. Piggy Bank. Good draw. Still giving us a turn 2 is excellent. All right, they know we have Blast Zone. We'll get Blast Zone down. Artist Talent was going to be our main filtration for this game to get Portal into the grave. Little bit of ramp. I'm not mad about it. Demolition Field can pop the Restless Reef, which is pretty good for our turn 3 here. I'm going to get that down. I wouldn't mind thinning the deck now that we have 5 for the Daretti when it comes time, right? But also, treasure helping us ramp, but we don't have... We'd rather sacrifice the treasure to bring something important back. Are we up against some mill guys? Oh, we should have used Demolition Field before they use up their last 2 mana. Well, I guess they could still tap it on the stack. Yeah, this is fine. We'll wait till the end. We'll thin the deck. I'll pop the reef. Not worry too much about them using it for mana, because they're going to be able to do that regardless. Three cards in hand. It was being held for a second. Demolition Field. Doing the thing today a little bit, right? I think so. Yeah, thinning the deck should be very important. Mountain. So any number of target players each mill 2 cards. Then it has the exhaust ability for 4, which they have 4 on the board. Any number of target players each mill cards equal to the number of cards in their graveyard. So a little bit scary, but honestly, if we're milling cards into the grave, we might see a lot of top end hit the grave for when it comes time for Daretti, right? So Fountainport can come down. Legion Extruder's decent. Yeah, Daretti, not yet. It's rough that we lost the artist talent, guys, because I'd love to get Portal into the grave, but they're not going to be sacrificing anyways. It would just be a big artifact established to help us reanimate at that point. All right. Actually, Fountainport, Legion Extruder. I suppose. Treasure token still... Wait a minute. Wait a minute, guys. I wanted to keep a red source open for the Torch the Tower. Well, this is awkward. Well, we might turn the treasure token into a 3/3 anyways, because the 3/3 could still be sacrificed to the Daretti if we really wanted to. But realistically, I don't know if that's something we want to do. See what we mill. Piggy Bank, Brotherhood's End. Okay. 5th mana from the opponent. I don't know, guys. What should we do here? Might actually be able to swing with the 3/3 before sacrificing it. Trade it into a Piggy Bank. Daretti's established, so it's not just when it enters, it's also when it attacks. Ooh, Scrapwork Mutt. Okay. That actually gets the portal into the grave. The question is that really what we want to do for the whole turn? Probably. Because it's a good sacrifice. Keep some extra red sources open, and Fountainport open too. Start with the trade, because it could affect combat if we find like an Urabrask Forge. Portal to the grave. This deck list is really cool, man. A lot of options. Alright, swing. And we still have 2 to pop the Mutt and turn it into a 3/3. And then also would still have Torch the Tower open too. Yeah, we got to get some of this removal out of the opponent's hand for sure. Huh. I suppose we go ahead and turn it into another 3/3, right? Yeah, they discarded a Go for the Throat there. So 2 pieces of spot removal out of the opponent's hand, ready for the Daretti. And maybe the last card in hand is more removal too. Oh, Cityscape Leveler hitting the grave. Guys, this is our chance. This is our chance for real. What I'm terrified of course, I'll tell you what, 6th mana and then a Jace. Oh, Deadly Cover-Up. Okay. Well, it's Destroy, so Mutt can always come back, but now we don't have the artifact to sacrifice to the Daretti. Oh, yes, we do. Extruder, but that's not really an artifact we want to sacrifice. If we bring back Mutt, we'll only have 4 mana after playing the Mountain, so no Daretti. If we would have let the 3/3 die, they probably wouldn't have dropped the Deadly Cover-Up, but I think they might exile our Leveler. Leveler is also a card that pops the Monument, but not unless it attacks from the grave, which we have to unearth for 8, because it's not a generic ETB. It specifically reads when you cast it. So, oh, Portal to Phyrexia is what they actually end up grabbing there. Okay, okay. I'm going to take the turn. If we set up with Leveler, look, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're actually getting close from just unearthing this. If we Scrapwork Mutt, right? You know what? Blast Zone, it would be a way to get rid of this Monument too. So it's actually a little bit risky. Not focusing on that Monument, but okay, Meteor Golem. There we go. Cool. All right. Let's swing. Down to 16. Trade out Mutt for a 3/3. Pretty cool, man. It's neat. Oh, establish more mana. And Torch the Tower's open. So we only have 8 cards in the grave right now. So the 4 mana on the Monument only milling for 8. They go for top mill, 2 more. Yeah, get those mountains out of here. Holy cow. It feels like a lot of mana, but I'm pretty sure it's because of how much we're filtering out. I'm pretty sure that's what's going on. Torch the tower, not doing too much right now. Mana off the top would be Meteor Golem for sure, so we could pop the monument. Get more swings too. Chandra. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. We could still bring back Cityscape Leveler. It just won't be able to pop anything. I'd love Daretti to do something today, though. We still have Torch the tower open then. We probably don't go Daretti, unfortunately, guys. It's probably Chandra. Honestly, Chandra before combat actually would have worked as well. Just in case we need more red sources open for some reason, right? Meteor Golem in the grave could be a little bit sketchy. But it would definitely be the reanimation target from the Daretti over the Leveler. Alright. Discard a card. Meteor Golem. It's a Chandra. Alright. Legion Extruder open and Torch the Tower open. How are we doing, guys? How am I doing? Am I playing it out okay? I hope so. Again, it could be very risky letting them keep this monument for this long. Because at some point, I guess 4 mana for the exhaust, 4 mana for a Jace. I guess we still have a couple turns. So it's not too risky overall. Oh, see, Blast Zone to 2 now is very tempting. No extra artifacts to pop for the Extruder, so I'm not going to do that. But what's interesting here is if I would have went 0, we would have been able to pop the vehicle to get an extra 3/3. All right, let's go for 0 on Chandra, because that's going to be the sacrifice to the Daretti. And then we will go... Oh, guys, Chandra's passive ability. Chandra's passive ability also helping us get more damage through. I wasn't even thinking about that because that's not why Chandra's in here. But yeah, more damage through is excellent. Swing. More removal in the opponent's hand? No. Down to 7. All right, Daretti, right? Sacrifice the vehicle, probably. It's looking pretty good for us. We got a lot of value over here, man. Yeah, Meteor Golem, because it actually has the ETB, so we can pop a monument. And then we only have 6 mana on the board, so we're still too far to unearth. Bitter Triumph on the Daretti. They take 3. They're in a lot of danger here, dude. A lot of danger. Pop a monument. That's the one that they'll end up tapping, but they don't have enough mana to tap the other one now anyways. All right. 13 cards in the grave. Oh. They did have an open man. I don't know what I was counting over there. Yeah, so they did activate both of them. Torch the Tower just chilling this whole game is really funny because of how important this actually is against, like, the last game. See what they end up finding here. Yeah, top ability, it's only 1 in tap this. Okay, they end up drawing on the clue. This looks like a GG, guys. Looks like a GG. It took going up against some mill to get there, but wow. Our deck list really showcased something. Something's happening here. A lot of really neat synergies. Chandra being in here just for the discard. I mean, that was the idea, but Chandra's extra vehicles generating extra artifacts and everything, and then the passive ability really coming in handy to get even more damage through. I don't know, man. That wasn't bad, guys. We're so far in, I'm not going to do any end of video packs or anything. Here's the deck list again, guys. Definitely going to breach that 1 hour mark. I know that much. Really cool concept. Thank you again for the patron suggestion. I always love revisiting big red artifacts. Always a lot of fun. Guys, something we got to try soon is like just big red vehicles too. I like this Chandra. This is neat. This is really neat. Man. A lot of awkward things today. Couple misplays on my part, for sure. There probably could have been some optimized plays too, because there's a lot going on here. However, I don't know. I really liked it. I know that much. I know that if we sat down and we played, how many games did we play today? Only 3, because that one game was really long. Not 100% certain right now how many we got in, but we might have gotten 4 in because of that really short mono red game too. Well, either way, however many games we played, if we sat down and we played that many games again, I don't know, dude. I think we could come out of this with higher than a 50%. It's really tough to say, though. It's really tough because you never know. You know, if you don't see your early removal against like that mono red list, for example, that probably just means you have to mulligan when you see a hand that I saw for that game. I got super duper punished for keeping 3 mana, and the earliest thing was Brotherhood's End. Still hit a really good Brotherhood's End, though, on 2 mice. But we ended up taking an extra 2 damage then, too, from the Heartfire hero by not having Torch the Tower in hand, too. So it's a lot of, there's a lot going on. There's a lot to talk about, too. Guys, what would you add or take out? Definitely let me know down in the comments. Do you think 4 Torch the Towers would be worth it? Because look, one game, it would have been so good. Then the game right after that, Mill, it had no targets. Now, when you're sitting back and you're looking at that, you're like, well, just trade it out then, right? Well, yeah. So would the 3 still just be good enough? Because you are trading out so often in this deck list. Do you really need all 4? It's probably 3. And actually, a lot of the 3-ofs make a lot of sense here. Do we want 4 Scrapwork Mutts? More trading out, more artifacts on the board. Works really well with the Legion Extruder and pretty much everything else in here too, right? But I think the 3-ofs make a lot of sense when, again, trading out artist talent and stuff. Now, artist talent is only when you cast a non-creature spell. Well, what does that include? We got Torch the Tower, Extruder, Monument, Brotherhood's End, Forge, Chandra, Mightstone, Weakstone, Portal to Phyrexia, which Portal to Phyrexia was actually a pretty tough one today, wasn't it? I'd consider going down to one of these and going up something else. But there's going to be other times where it's absolutely essential to get this into the grave and maybe bring it back with the Daretti. But there's only 2 Darettis. Not 3, not 4, only 2. So outside of that, are you going to be able to cast the portal in time as well? Well, we're only ramping in here with Mightstone, Weakstone, and some treasure. So not too often are we actually going to get 9 mana. 24 should be right. It felt like a lot. I'm pretty sure that's because of how we were filtering, or how we were... Yeah, instead of filtering land out of our hand, we were plugging artifacts into the grave instead, right? So, I feel like I had more to say, but the games kind of spoke for themselves, man. Mirrex generating artifacts is actually really important. I'd keep the 2 of those. Fountainport extra draw, really important. The combo between Fountainport and Mirrex is well known and works really well in this deck list. Demolition Field did the thing today. Blast Zone kind of sort of did the thing. We got it to 2. We popped up the Beanstalk in our Scrapwork Mutt, recast the Scrapwork Mutt from the grave with Unearth, and filtered out more mana out of our hand. It's actually really neat, wasn't it? There were moments where we saw late game Hidden Volcano where it was just kind of like, wow, if we actually saw this earlier, then it would be really good to discover right now. So neat stuff, man. Yeah, I have nothing else to say. I really like it. It's too bad we couldn't pull off more victories today. But luckily, I think the deck list showcased itself beautifully. Definitely deserving of another revisit at some point. Or we could go big red artifacts and go a couple different routes too. Like I said, at some point, some big red vehicles could be really neat too. But at that point, why not just go Boros or something? I haven't really decided yet. A lot of really neat artifact builds since Aetherdrift, so a lot of things to try out. Legion Extruder was really good today too, right? This is another card we could consider 4 of. I'll tell you what though, the 2 damage does miss quite often. Just think of that mono red game again, where Swift Spear, it's so easy to get the Swift Spear to 3 toughness, even if they didn't have Monstrous Rage that turn. If they kept open mana for a burn spell, they still could have burnt us on our turn on the stack of the Extruder. Prowess would have gotten it up anyway, so you'd be surprised how often the 2 damage misses. Other times though, it cleans things up still, so with the discard theme. Real quick, I will talk about that. Let's separate the cards that actually have us discard. So Artist Talent, Scrapwork Mutt, Chandra, right? Hold up. Is that it? What am I missing here, guys? Scrapwork Mutt, Artist Talent, Chandra, helping us discard to the Monument of Endurance, which, by the way, guys, I don't think Monument would have made the cut if it wasn't also an artifact, also fitting the entire theme in here. If it's a dead card on the board, you could totally turn it into a 3/3 from the Extruder and stuff too. So that's kind of sort of very important, isn't it? Or again, turn the Monument of Endurance into your top end from the grave, Meteor Golem, Cityscape Leveler, and Portal to Phyrexia. So yeah, only 9 cards trading us out. I'm actually really surprised by that, which might still, once again, make the argument for more Scrapwork Mutts or something. I'm glad I took the moment to rearrange that to kind of see, to kind of lay that out, because it felt like there was a lot of trade out, but technically not really. There's not too much. I guess 9 cards is still a good chunk. Yeah, I don't know. That's something to think about though. Guys, 1 hour and 6 minutes. Holy cow, one of my longest videos ever, huh? All right, if you made it this far in for real, y'all are champions. I super duper appreciate you, and I will see you in the next video.